Okay, we are recording. Okay, so I made an agenda for us because it was requested, and I also feel like we have content to make an agenda too. So I figured we would just follow that, and if we go on tangents that are useful, then great. But besides that, we'll follow that. So the first thing was talking about uh, writing the chapters or editing the chapters in the plan, which I'm pulling up my agenda right now. Me, Kaya, and Claudia have been working on. So mostly Claudia. So Claudia, if you just want to like tell everyone what you've been doing with it and like what topics you've been working on, just so people can have a summary of it.
Yeah, of course. So I started with section 2, and I'm basically just going back and changing the like any wording that was specific to 2017, adding a few like examples of efforts that are being made, that have been made since 2017, and then like goals for 2024. Right now, so I like went over section 2 first. I've yet to go back and like finalize it or anything. But I started working on section 3, and right now I'm waiting to. I have to reach out to the what is it? The Pokanoket. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. The Wampanoag and the Nipmuc tribes, and asking them about their experience in the area, kind of in the history section of it, because it goes over the history of like Bellingham, but I wanted to dive a little bit deeper. So I'm just waiting to reach out to them, and then continue on like updating the language in any of the sections.
Yeah, so like something that Claudia and I both noticed that was missing in the history section. Well, there's a lot missing in the history section that we really want to vamp up. But one of the things is like there was no Indigenous people history at all, and since open space is about land, they probably have history in relation to that. So it made sense to at least try to add, even if it's just a paragraph. Something is better than nothing. So that's kind of what she's talking about, reaching out to the local tribes. I think that'd be cool.
Maybe a bad idea because there are some names, like for instance, when we used to live in Lake Hiawatha, that's tells you just one thing in its but I don't think anybody knows the story behind it,
Exactly.
including myself. And I think we should definitely. That's a great point.
And I think in a previous conversation,
Okay. Yep.
we which Ariane might remember, unless I'm thinking of during Concom, I can't remember quite, but something about the Charles River. Isn't there a tribe or a group that owns part of it, or they're at least a stakeholder in it?
I don't know, but I'll definitely look to find out about it.
Doesn't sound like something we talked about, but I did notice in a Concom meeting that there were archaeological resources near one of the projects that we were looking at. I don't know what the details because a lot of them are protected so that people don't disturb them, but I know we have a couple of those around.
That's what I was remembering. Do you remember what group it was or the location?
I remember the one that Neil showed us, and then the one that I saw on the plans for that other project is actually on our town GIS. If you zoom in really close, it's near Silver Lake.
Okay. Yeah, so there's connections. There's just like no one has made those like a formal connection. So we're hoping to get something out of that, which would be pretty cool. And then Kai's just starting on his thing, but do you want to say like what you're going to be focusing on?
No, that's good. Yeah, so I contacted the historical society, I think it's called, and just asked them if they have any more information on like basically just ask them if they're willing to like help us co-write or work on the historical chapter for the new open space plan. And I'm waiting for a response back. I just talked to them today, so. But they seem willing to work it.
There's also a teacher. I know my son Sam Cowell, who teaches at the middle school. He does a history of Bellingham class, It's actually an enrichment class at the middle school. My son loved it. So he might have some perspective. I can give you his contact. It's wonderful.
Who did he reach out to? Reach out to Bernadette?
Yeah, well, Bernadette,
Bernadette is
I sent it to
full of information,
Bernadette
yes.
and, I forget his name, but the chair, and then
Steve,
no, that's so I reached out to both them, and Bernadette sent me, the vice chair's information and said that he was interested, in learning more about it, so I sent him basically like a little like blurb of like what we're gonna be focusing on or what we'd like to focus on. And
Yeah,
he hasn't responded yet.
I mean, a lot of things are just, they kind of cleaned it up a little bit, you guys, last year or two, because the building is just, so people just got done.
Yeah, like
That
what,
was
2 years ago?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
so that's actually, I'm assuming they have a lot of materials, people can live more organized. Bernadette is probably, will give you a lot of information.
Yeah, she's the one that responded back to me.
Bernadette's also super interested in the CPA. I don't know if you talked to
Yeah,
her.
I didn't have time to catch up with her,
Okay,
but that's gonna be on my, it's on my list.
okay, cool.
So at least we hit on the ground on that.
Okay. So yeah, that's it for like what we're going through, like editing the chapters. If you wanted to briefly look at them or read them thoroughly, if you find time, it's in our Google Drive under completed parts. You'll see Google Docs there of what we kind of plan to keep. Do you have something to say, Aria, or did you just unmute?
Well, I was gonna ask if you had seen like the stuff that I had done for section 4. It's not complete, but I just started gathering resources because that's all like just scientific information.
I haven't, but Claudia's been heading most of that, and then I've just been like checking her work and giving her thoughts. So I don't know, Claudia, if you have.
You said for section 4.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at section 4 yet. But I can let you know once I start going over that.
Okay. Because I have like so I put it under the works in progress folder, but what I've been doing, like part of the reason that I was also doing the maps, is because like some of this stuff is easier to get with GIS data. So like I like pulled all the water body names out and then like tried to find all the ones listed in the original one. There was one that I like could not find. So if anyone knows about it, that would be cool. But it's like not a named stream and I didn't see it on any USGS maps. And then I updated the endangered species and then maybe went a little overboard with that one. I started writing about the environmental challenges specific to hazardous waste sites. To date, 111 reportable conditions.
Oh,
Yeah, mostly automotive crashes, but yeah.
all right.
And then I downloaded some data that is not necessarily related to that section, but I was like, well, I found this, I'm probably never gonna find it again, so I might as well download it now. So it's like in that works in progress folder, there's a folder called census demographics data. So that has like the updated census information for the table. There's like a parcels Excel spreadsheet where I started going through and seeing like what kind of it's specifically town-owned parcels. So I was trying to figure out like who owns what's it used for, if there's any sensitive resources on it, and if there's like something that we could do to improve it for like open space.
Wait, so you said that information is in a map format?
That's
Or-
an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, it's in Excel.
I extracted it from GIS though.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I see it now.
Oh, so that's on the Google Drive too.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll look into that.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on the editing? If anyone thinks of any like specific historic stuff, let Kaya or Claudia know. Yeah, we're just kind of like going through chapter by chapter with that. I just realized that David's not here. I'm guessing David's not coming.
Yeah, he texted me, so he's not feeling great, but he said he put 3 new maps in the Google, Form, so
Oh.
there are some new ones in there.
Um,
He said he wasn't feeling great, so.
That's a bummer. Okay. Ariane, since you know which maps are yours and which ones are David's, if you don't mind going on Google Drive and showing us potentially whatever those 3 are, like sharing it on the screen.
Sure.
I think I have to give you access.
You are in charge.
Huh?
So you are in charge.
Yeah.
Let me know when can do it. Or maybe
Okay.
I'll know.
Now you can.
Sweet. Okay. Whoops. Oh yeah, that one's his. Okay. Environmental justice. So this is the environmental justice area. First one. This is the second one.
Okay. So I think you just changed some of the symbolism, it looks like.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I guess I don't really have any preference to the symbols, really. I mean, you can see everything really clearly.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not sure the open space it looks like necessarily needs to be here, and I don't see it on the legend. So maybe you
Oh.
could lighten that up a bit, or maybe we could just do that in the PDF with Bluebeam. And then you wouldn't have to open GIS again if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, you might have to because it doesn't look like it's completely clipped so that you see it on the right side how we can see all Franklin's.
Yeah.
So like the clips didn't match up or something. The clipping. Okay. What else?
Next one I'm trying to get to, but there's like this menu in my way. I'm gonna have to minimize. Oh, it's still behind the menu. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for a sec and then I'll be back. Okay.
Oh, the watersheds.
The regional context. That's it.
I did
Charles and
actually
Blackstone.
colors.
Pretty good colors.
I mean, that one's a pretty basic map. It's really,
Yeah. It looks good.
yeah.
They definitely will contrast too, I think, if like people have a black and white printer.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Okay. Well, now the menu is slightly below the bar, so that's cool.
Wow.
That's a lot of vernal pools.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same.
Yeah.
Hmm. This might be picky, but I might suggest that we don't do triangles because it makes me think that there's hilltops there. Or like, like
Some sort of
mountains.
different, yeah.
What's a symbol for certified, right? Is that a fish?
Yeah, it looks like a little, well, it
Okay.
looks like an angelfish,
I just need my
which I
glass.
think are in the ocean, but
Who
I'll
think-
allow it.
You know.
Who certifies it? Is it DEP or like who?
No, it's natural heritage, right?
Yeah,
Who identifies the potential?
Anyone?
I think they use like elevation data to find little like dips and areas that would be like kind of near wetlands. I'm not really sure how they do it, but I don't think that they update it very often relative to the certified one. So like you'd submit a form to get something certified and then they would certify it. But then I think these they just made once, maybe check them occasionally.
I got a question. That all that big pink area,
Yeah.
priority habitat. What's that comes?
What is it?
What, yeah, like
Priority habitat is based on,
farmland?
based on,
The farmland?
no, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but they use mapping to, and sightings to say like, there's vulnerable species here, we should prioritize protecting it.
Huh.
Is that what you think, Ariane?
I think so. I think it's like a combination of endangered species sightings, and that could be like state or federal endangered, and then like areas based on the habitat type. So like I think this area over here is pretty undeveloped. I know there's like a solar farm up here now, but this whole area is like forest. So they probably say like, oh, this is like a large swath of forest. So it gives a lot of habitat for animals that have like a big range.
Yeah, and oftentimes they're specifically looking for like anything that the state has deemed as an endangered species or a threatened species, wherever they need to live, that
Yep.
ups that prioritizing, so. Cause we know there's turtles there.
Yep. And then the Peters River too.
I wonder why only that chunk, like why not basically all waterways?
Well, the only like facultative species I can think of over there is tires. So
What?
Highest.
Okay, well,
probably also because it's in the aquifer, I think. On a serious note.
yeah. Well, yeah, cause there's also at the very tip, that's also priority habitat up at the northern tip. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not triangles and maybe not ocean fish. Besides that, pretty good.
That's all wetland area. It's not looking at it, but the pink area, right on the railway line.
Yep,
Yeah,
That's the-
it probably
across
is a
from the
bigger
power
area.
plant, right? Sean,
it looks like it.
close enough,
I'm
right?
trying to think, Carrigo, okay, so that's,
Yeah, right in that corner, you know, it's before you take the village street.
yeah,
I
there's,
think it's right there.
yeah, on the right hand side, yeah, I know what he's
Yeah.
talking about, yeah. It's just past, that street that cuts over to West Street and
Yeah.
Midway. There's a whole river right there, a
Mhm.
stream, yeah. Yeah.
Where
Then
there's,
I've only had a chance to update 2 of the maps.
It'd be
Sorry.
Oh,
in the
do you have
area
them
that they put it
available?
on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them I saved on here. I think the other one I finished like
Really?
earlier this week and haven't had a chance. But I think you had some minor comments on this one that I changed. I think it was like changing the outline and then just making sure this was consistent, which I think it was. It looked consistent to his. Let me open another one up again. Twinsies.
This reminds me of rainbow sherbet. It's
Right?
very,
I want to eat this one.
I wanna eat it.
Give me that Milford granite.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, those are the flavors on the side. I think it looks great. I love this.
So how do you figure this out? Does someone drill, like, how do we,
The drills.
everyone just, they just drill in random places? How do they know it stops right there? It's crazy.
Yeah, basically, so a lot of it's estimated, but the USGS, like back between the 1800s and like through the 1960s, I think, literally went out and drilled in random places And they also looked at like existing gravel pits and quarries and looked at the rock types. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Don't forget, Bellingham was at one point unwanted in its piece of land between Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Probably we're trying to figure out who's gonna have it. I don't want it. You don't want it. I don't
Really?
want it. Yeah.
Should have been our own sovereign nation. We should have done
I mean,
that.
it was close enough. Thanks to Governor Bellingham,
Be president, you can be president of Valley, if you want to be.
Yeah,
And
oh, go ahead.
sorry, this is the other one that I updated. So I actually I think I got a different layer for the soil. So before I had like all the detailed soil that like the Soil Conservation Service uses. So it said like Charleston complex, Swansea muck, things like that. So I replaced it with like a larger view, which has less total soil types. So now it's artificial fill, floodplain alluvium, swamp deposits, stratified deposits, thick till and thin till. And then I put these ones over it. It's a lot going on, but I also was playing around with the colors a bit because I wasn't sure if like, should this be darker? Should it be like white?
I think it's definitely improved a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's more clear now because you're looking at it all around the Charles River. It's pretty clear.
Yeah,
And I was looking at the swamp deposits. It's perfect. It's crystal clear now.
And then I think everything else matches that other map too. So like, yeah, everything's the same.
yeah. I definitely like that. How you have like the outline and the gray in the background and the main roads, what color they are and how they're highlighted. I think that looks great.
I
Cool.
might play around with this color and make it a little more different from these two colors, but other than that, I think it'll be done. Ready to go.
Maybe a purple. There's no purple on this map.
It's true.
Floodplain, kind of
Well,
light. It's
Yeah,
like,
periwinkle.
let's go with like lilac.
Lilac, really? Let's go to the paint store. Are there any other maps that we haven't started on at all?
I don't think. Oh,
Do we have one? I mean, don't we have one that shows, identifies the open space locations? Don't we have one of
Yeah,
those too?
I don't know. Was
Yeah.
that-
We did have one of those, right?
we did. I think it needs to be updated though.
Okay,
And that was one of the ones that I was like kind of semi working on when I pulled in those GIS layers to extract the open space data and be lazy and not like have to look them up. I was like, this isn't up to date. So green checkbox emojis mean that they're done more or less.
okay.
And then I think that
There it is, yeah.
Okay.
I think this one David did.
Yeah, well, and I know that he's already completed a water resources one because it's hanging up in my office. So we just
Yeah.
have to make sure it matches the same, like the basic setup. Okay, so the things at the bottom are recommended but not. I'm wondering, do we want to pursue those or not? Any of them?
I definitely don't think we have to do that one.
Yeah.
That one's like a lot of stuff. And I think that would be like the next stage of like any open space, like we're identifying issues here, and then this would be like, all right, what can we do about it? And then like cross that bridge when we come to it, you know?
Right.
What would existing infrastructure be? Is that like built, the town's buildings and stuff like that, water? sewer?
Yeah, that's what I would see it as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's on another map already though, but I mean, I guess not specific to the buildings. I know we have like all of our well sites.
Yeah. And that was kind of just for like the report. Like, I didn't think we needed it, but again, I was being lazy and extracting data. But then I had some questions, and I'm like, I'll just export this. Now it's map.
And current land uses would just be, is it residential or is that what that means?
Almost like, yeah, I was wondering if that would be like zoning almost,
Zoning.
which is, well, that's number 3. That's map number 3 is zoning.
Yeah,
Maybe this would be like the land use layer that they have where they like on Mass Mapper. If you add it, I could actually probably show you. Just open new tab.
You have like 30 tabs up.
Yeah. Yeah. This needs to get out of the way. Like,
is this a particular thing you can be used by anyone? Is this open?
Yeah, you should definitely check it out sometime.
Yeah, it'd be fun to just play around.
I have to zoom in really close for it to turn on, but yeah, it'd probably basically just be that.
Eh,
There it is. That's land use.
Yeah. I don't think
yeah, I mean, I guess the question would be, how is it useful for this? And I don't know if it really is.
Yeah. I guess it could be useful for like they have commercial and industrial here, but they also haven't updated it since like 2012. So there's that. But you could do like an overlay with like how your zoning matches up with it and be like, okay, like 60% of our existing industrial properties are in the agricultural zone or vice versa. And like
Yeah.
be like, all right, that's an issue. Can't even tell what color I'm looking at.
Commercial. I can't tell where we are.
That's close to Hopedale line.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
How'd you figure that out?
Pay attention a little bit. This is with Madison Street right there.
There's you guys.
Oh, we're in the center, okay.
looks like artwork. That's all it looks like.
Mm.
Right now.
Yeah, this is
Cool.
like interpretive mapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one that shows conservation versus open space, like active open space.
No, because one is within the other. But on our open space map,
Well, like, you know what I mean, like stuff, like open space areas that are currently used and developed, like, or like the town hall versus like our conservation parcels or something.
oh, like defining different types of open
Yeah,
space?
yeah.
Yes, right, we do. I think.
The map for that?
Yeah. I don't think that'd be helpful, like.
No, yeah, it would be. I know that it's been talked about, but I don't remember if it actually got completed.
I mean, I think eventually, not for a report, but for a practical use, it would be great to have a interactive map where you can, I don't know whether it's numbered and it lists like every thing that someone could access, that it has pictures, it says how you can, where you can park, all that stuff.
Like,
Yeah. It would be just, someone's like, oh, let's go do something today, and then we can click on it, it'll say the address of where it is. Maybe there's some pictures that people can download, I mean, we could easily do that, but.
Yeah, what's there, what.
Yeah, what you can do is fishing, there's a walking trail, there's whatever, nothing crazy, but at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah. Like Google Maps, you see that once you
Yeah,
pinpoint it, when you drop the pin,
Yeah.
and then it's if they have a data, it automatically shows it, and then you can picture it, it's some in coordinates, address, everything,
Yeah, because ultimately, if you want people people to support stuff, whether it's the community preservation act, they want to be able to see like, all right, well, where can I go and experience that?
Right.
Yeah.
What does it look like now? What's being worked on? It's kind of some of the stuff we talked about before.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, you're right. It's just, you know,
I think you can manipulate, I don't know if it's on Google Maps or Google Earth, but I'm pretty sure you can manipulate the maps to create your own little like clip.
Yeah.
Like I could clip Bellingham. and-
Yeah, I didn't know
Well,
if
that's
this,
what
I just went on maps, whatever this is called, Mass GIS, and just to
Mass
see.
mapper.
Mass Mapper, yeah, just to see if that had the same feature.
Yeah, no, that's why I was asking though, because it'd be not, it would be good to go on, be able to go on the site and just hover over something or click on it, and
Yeah.
then boom, you get the information.
Yeah.
I think we could do something like that in GIS. And then it would be like hosted online.
We have the new website, I don't know if that makes a difference
I
in,
was gonna say that, you know.
yeah, in this type of map.
Yeah. The
But-
aerial view and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we're talking about similar thing, where something where you not only see a map of the locations and all the, you know, Silver Lake and Arcan and Blackstone. And, but you can click on the map on that location and it pulls up information on it.
Yeah, it was a doc where it says maybe we did the, you know, recent improvements, 2023, they cleared the
Yeah.
trail and painted something.
Yeah.
Things you can do on it, like, oh, is there hunting allowed? Or maybe we won't get into that, but like
Yeah.
fishing, public access, and like,
Oh, true, I mean, the High Street, that trail, I went on that since the last meeting.
Yeah,
Just to check it out. And, yeah, this is not like some little trail. I
Yeah, it's a
mean,
great little
a
trail.
wide network of other trails,
yeah,
but that wasn't on any list. The initial stuff we went out, that was not on there at all.
no, I mean, they have markings with red
Yeah,
arrows, but even some of those, I don't think are
Kiosk.
still up there.
yeah,
Some
I'm sure
are,
some
but I
have come
think
down,
some
there
are.
was a fair amount.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can get to where you need to get to.
right, but that was never on our like initial list, you know,
Right.
the ones we went out to, so like that's
I
a,
went up that,
oh, the trail?
yeah, behind, yeah,
But did you know it was there?
yeah.
You
pictures
knew
on
it was there, yeah.
You knew it was there.
But
where
I
it
think
wasn't-
did that start at High Street?
So I've always noticed that because my daughter played softball for a
Yeah.
while. And then I knew that there was a thing right at the head of the trail, I guess you could call it, from the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, the kiosk.
Yeah, the
yeah.
kiosk thing, and I've walked it a bunch. I brought my dog. My son, when softball was boring for my son, my wife would take him down the trail.
Yeah.
So,
Goes all the way to the train tracks.
yeah, and there's like a waterfall.
You get to the Charles there, right? Don't you get to the Charles River?
Yes, that's a Charles.
Probably if you go the other way, yeah.
If you go down and like kind of go to your
Yeah.
right, but then
Yeah.
there's like
That's the
little
Charles River,
there's little streams that if you go to the left, you have to go over something and there's more.
So we added a sign there. So we added, that has the kiosk, but after last meeting, after talking about it, Dennis said, yeah, go ahead and put something up. So we had a sign in the inventory, it said walking trail starts here. So we put one in right near the trailhead.
Yeah.
So people know additionally, like maybe you're sitting watching, you'll see the sign.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have the kiosk as well, but
Is the sign at the head of the trail or is it at the street?
it's at the head of the trail. That's the only thing.
So that's where
Yeah.
signage, like where people can see it.
Right,
on High
but you-
Street, right near the softball. I mean, I don't think softball would care if it said walking trail.
No, it's tucked, it's at the start of the trail.
Yeah,
So it's kind of tucked in there. But that's where the map comes in handy. You're
Right.
looking to walk trails, you click on it and then you park. If you're unsure, you know, you get an idea. of
yeah,
what's
even
happening
just,
there.
you know, that Bellingham softball is one right
Yeah.
on High Street, maybe just something right next to it or attached to it that says, I don't know what the term, was, walking trail.
That's where your sign, open space sign comes
Yeah,
in handy.
I know.
All the open space locations have the same sign.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like an indicator that this is open space.
Yeah.
So people, yeah, and then maybe they get on their phones and see what's at that location.
Had some Pokemon down there, maybe they'll. know.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
Of
people still
course.
do that? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't
Um,
think so. No.
Ariane, when you were talking about GIS, are you talking about story maps?
yeah, sort of. It's like ArcGIS can host like layers, and then you could basically like make a map that uses ArcGIS as like a platform and do like kind of a frame in the website. So then we could do something like that. I mean, like I'm saying this, but someone's gonna have to program it. So, I mean, keep that in mind because that's not gonna be me. It's like,
I
don't know how to do
have,
that.
I did it in grad school, but I don't have access to it, but maybe I can teach David. 'Cause
Or can he also give you access? So the two of you can?
Not without the money.
Oh, license or whatever, additional
Yeah.
license, okay.
Yeah. But,
How
it's
much?
definitely possible though, what she's talking about.
How much? Roughly?
Less than 1,000, but more than 100. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
And that's
I
an
think
annual,
probably David could do it, right? Or like at least host it.
yeah.
And then it would just be like people could use it for free minus whatever cost the usual licenses.
What we're talking about, in case you have no clue, it's an user-friendly version of GIS that you can do online. Add your pinpoints to it, whatever you want, and then create a website, a web page off of it. So it has a link in everything, which could be put on our town website. They could click on the link, or even see a preview of the map too. You can do that. And all that information could be there. So, but it's super user friendly. That's why I like it. You don't have to be super tech savvy to be able to do it,
Okay.
but
It basically does exactly what you guys were like saying it would be cool if it could do.
yeah. All right, well, we kind of like, anything else on maps? Great work.
Thanks. I'll try. I think I finished like looking through the open space parcels. So like I noticed a lot of them were like different coordinate systems or something. So they were kind of off compared to like the actual parcel locations. So I just exported like I clicked on like the actual parcel and then like copied it into another layer so that it actually matches up with the lot lines. And then I think I like just finished that a little while ago. So hopefully there will be like an up-to-date open space map soon.
Cool. So the next thing is parks and sign updates, which Sean already talked about one of his signs. I thought I had a picture. I thought you had sent me a picture, but
of that one I didn't, I sent you one, you remember the trail that had the illegal dumping? So that one I sent you. Which, do you have any idea if that's stopped? I haven't been by it.
No one has called Heather, so.
It's a good thing, okay. So then,
Where is this? Where, no.
Off of Fifth Ave. So Fifth Ave.
Yeah.
So there's a little trail that runs to the field, but I'm guessing multiple residents, I don't know for sure who, but
That's
they
a
were
cul-de-sac.
Fifth,
The other side of the Fifth Ave?
Fifth Ave, so down High Street, Cliff Road on the left, Fifth Ave on the right, take the right, and then about 100, 200 feet up on your left is a trail.
Okay.
And someone was dumping yard waste in there, a ton of it. And so there was some notification sent to so we did put up a sign, but that's a trail, like a nice little trail that runs, I'm assuming, right over to
Well, you
the
have to
softball field.
wait until
It's free.
Saturday and just bring it to the.
Right, yeah, exactly. I don't know if it was like a landscaper or resident, I'm guessing some, residents from the
Probably a mix of
area.
both.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. So it was just so we did get a sign up just to stop the illegal dumping. We haven't heard anything since. I haven't been back, but
Yeah, it's like basically the entrance is right here.
Yes, I was just looking at it online too. Yeah, it's right behind that corner field.
So they were dumping it right there?
yeah, you walk in through what, 50 feet, about 50 feet in. I mean, there was
That's
this
a tight
area.
corner. I mean, that's somebody probably from that area.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
there's no parking on
There's
nothing.
not.
That street is so tight. I mean, you know that.
It had to be,
It's somebody probably just,
yeah.
getting their tractor and they're just dumping them in there.
Yeah.
It's because that's. With my old truck, when I used to go there, you can hardly take a turn there, I mean.
Yeah, it's right.
It's that narrow.
There's nowhere to really park, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
gotta be neighborhood residents, but either way, it seems like we haven't heard anything since. So that's good news. So we did, like I said, we posted a sign there just to kind of highlight the start of the trail. It's not, that sign isn't gonna draw more people, I don't think,
Is it
just,
down here?
it is. It's
Right near the baseball, the
Exactly.
bottom
Right
field on
there.
your left.
Yep.
Oh, this
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
Oh, this.
Right there, right at the head of that. So yeah, it doesn't notify out on the street, but if people are there, maybe it'll pick up and notify a little more. I think out at the street would be good if, like we talked about, some sort of open space sign or the map again, like if residents are looking, what is Bellingham map for trails? Like this could be listed if it's not already. And it's nice. I walked in there, I didn't go all the way, but it was definitely bigger than I thought. I mean, I think I crossed a bridge at one
Yeah,
point.
if you go down
Yeah,
through
so-
here, if you keep going down that way, it like snakes down the river.
Behind it, it goes
You
all
go
the way
left
to
too.
Bellingham Plaza.
Yes, it's a nice trail.
I'll have to see if there's other towns that have open space, like an open space
Well,
trail sign.
Medway does. Medway, if you
Oh.
look at their open space, they have one kind of generic open space sign that they have at most locations, I believe. It's like a bird, a white background, but it kind of, they have it to signify,
Oh, this guy,
Right there.
this little friend.
yeah.
Okay, so we can't pick a heron.
No,
We'll do a hawk.
No, I've already had this
We've already-
debate.
Come on,
Second
who
time.
cares if it doesn't make sense?
Yeah, it was,
Ryan.
I mean, listen,
Just make it look like something like a hawk.
hawk.
Close enough, no one was.
Well,
no
we
one
have
cared.
hawks here, just not black hawks.
Right, oh, well, like, let's pick a cool one like an osprey.
Make the sign black and then just put a hawk there and they can make their own.
Like the
sign.
hawk
That's,
is
okay,
down.
that's a compromise, I could do that, it could be a black sign.
Black signs, white, I do like the white contrast and then just put it something that looks like a
Medway
hawk.
colors are blue and white.
What's that?
It's a Medway colors are blue and
I
white.
know.
Oh, is it? Uh-huh.
And then Bellingham is black and white,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have that, so that sort of thing, I think would be a good idea, to have it at all the locations.
Okay, well, we can put it on someone's radar to design that. Interns?
I could do, I don't have Adobe here. I have a subscription at school.
Uh,
Are there any town departments that have access to like a GPS where they could maybe map out the trail?
David doesn't have that?
I would assume David
Oh,
could,
she's
yeah.
thinking about actual
Yeah,
trails.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, to like actually go out there and GPS it?
Yeah, or like just general, maybe a couple points, just,
Yeah, I can see if he's got the equipment. I don't know offhand if he has that equipment, but
You're gonna need a gator and another ATV or something. The fire department has it if you need to borrow it, you can ask him.
well,
My watch keeps track if I go for a run or a walk.
with
It
GPS,
actually
Yeah.
tracks, it actually
Mean-
tracks the.
yeah, if I was out there, I'd probably just put points down on Google Maps on my phone
Yeah, you're
and be
fine.
like, perfect.
can you download that afterwards, or?
Yeah,
the only other thing is that all town of Bellingham property? Oh, all that whole trail
Street.
network? Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think that would help us confirm.
Owns that.
Yeah, I think it is where it abuts, and then it abuts properties, but you'll see this like man-made, not mappable, like people just created their own paths. like,
Yes.
From their house to wherever it
Yeah, yeah,
goes too, so
exactly.
I don't know what is
Right.
exactly what's.
Tim has access to every plot and everything he wants to space. We can
Yeah.
take that
Okay.
for that.
So yeah, it's good. And I'm sure there's other trails like that around this town. I mean, maybe that's the biggest one or I don't know.
That was through conservation, right? Conservation, I think I think on the, I have a picture.
There's
of
a Boy
something.
Scout.
So what happens
The
if
Boy
like a
Scouts-
tree goes down across it? Does just someone, whoever has a chainsaw just clears it or?
Either that or if somebody sees it and then they reach out to town. And
The tree warden.
the tree warden and then.
Oh, the tree warden.
Or DPW usually, goes and
Yeah.
take care of it, but if somebody goes, if somebody finds out. I mean, if you don't find out about it, like, the dentist was pointing out, someone goes at the middle school.
The
because
bleachers, yeah.
The bleachers are,
Yeah.
they all fall apart. I mean, I haven't been there for 2-3 years, you know, some of this,
This
I usually go all the way around. So
Yeah.
if somebody
Things we need.
Things like.
somebody needs to go and just check it out. But if
Like,
someone sees it and then you have to let someone know.
Yeah.
That's the kind of, I don't know, awareness, I think, you know, that we need to just bring up to maybe public's knowledge. If you see something, you know, just reach out to the department and then, you know, we'll take care of it. But I mean, it's a big town. It's
Right,
Yeah, and the
so,
more stuff like people find, the more work that's
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
plate.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Well,
one of the drawbacks,
Yeah.
but if it needs to get done, like I've sent stuff over the last 15 years, I've sent like an email. I live up near the high school and middle school. I walk there all the time. That's why I see all this stuff every day.
yeah.
And like, if I see something, I just take a picture of it, like the light was messed up. When they first put it in, I think someone had hit it or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I took a picture of it and asked them, and I actually sent it to Morano too, because school was gonna start and
Yeah.
it wasn't working.
Oh,
So, and this gets sick, but that was a state thing. They had to go back to the state because it was still their project. But
yeah.
everything else I've sent there, and I don't send a ton of stuff there. It's been taken care of.
To the DPW FL, I
Yeah.
almost wonder if there should be an open space email. I
Oh,
mean, at DPW is fine, but there's probably a lot of people that see stuff and don't know where to send it, and
Yeah.
having one, you know, I don't know. I guess it would be,
I guess if you had a place on the website that you could report damage to something, you could put, is it a road? Is it a playground?
You get it
Is
for
it
the
a
pothole and stuff.
yeah, you got it for reporting potholes, I
You
mean,
understand if you went on there and said, hey, the bleachers are broken at wherever it is, Harpin Fields. And that would be under playgrounds, so that, then that gets sent to whoever that gets sent to.
yeah, so I think
I mean, I
that,
think a lot of it just ends up on your.
it does, it will, but that's, I mean, but I think that would almost be, once people know they're on open space, they know where to go. I think now if someone was out there, they wouldn't know to
Oh,
look
yeah.
for an open space
Yeah.
email. So it's almost as if that's a good idea for down the road.
Yeah,
Once people start, we have the map and
Yeah.
people, you know, we have the sign with the hawk.
Yeah.
yeah,
And people start knowing they're on open space, and then they go to the page and report an issue or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's a huge actual void, you know, it's something we don't have it on our current website, which is, we have updated it.
Yeah, and I have
Process.
Karen's
Yeah.
update that I'll read too, so we can go back to that whole.
Yeah.
It blends with this topic. Ariane, were you gonna say something?
I was just yesing in agreement.
Oh, okay. I wish there was like a little thing instead of a hand raise, you could just like do the double hand like praise. It's like, yeah.
Thumbs up.
thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
Well, this
yeah, that's
one,
true.
this
Yeah.
I think you were testifying, I think.
Yeah.
I think the idea or the suggestion about having specific things is good too, because it will keep people from like spamming it with, not necessarily actual complaints. Or complaints that are maybe not relevant, but they don't know aren't relevant, or something that we can't do anything about, like, I don't like hurricanes or something, it's like, okay, sorry.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I did, just kind of switching parks or open space locations, I did want to mention M. Coelho Group. I'm not sure if I said that name exactly, out of Bellingham, had reached out about doing a service project. And so we had them do the mulch beds at the entrance at Silver Park, the entrance to the playground. So they did all new plantings there. It looks incredible, looks great. And this was about a month ago at this point, so everything's starting to, we've been watering them like crazy. It's starting to like, they're starting to bloom and everything, so it looks good. I wanted to make sure we gave them some credit for that, and it was at no cost to the town, so it
That's
was awesome. You know,
That's
we got
fantastic.
plantings for free, they did all the work, mulched it, it was nice. So now we're just staying on top of the maintenance part, the weeding and stuff like that. They're starting to sprout
That's
a little
awesome.
bit, so that, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that whole,
So
Thank
was
you,
this,
Hannah,
was
perfect.
there anything here before or just?
there was, but it was like,
Fresh?
so, yeah, the stuff in the back, it was mainly basically from the Casper, well, you can see their sign underneath it. All the stuff up front, the like 2 rows is what they did. The stuff in the back was there. And that larger one in the middle was there, and the stuff in the back was there. They did all the other little, what looks like the newer plantings around it.
Yeah,
And then they mulched everything, and it looks good.
nice.
It was great. It was perfect. I mean, it was, timing was perfect and everything, so it was greatly
That's awesome.
appreciated. That's it.
Any other things? Well, it's summer. So do you have summer, like a seasonal staff who's gonna be working around our parks and stuff?
Well, there's seasonal help, yeah, the seasonal employees that they do, the parks, everything. So, yeah, I mean, we do have that, so they'll be out and about. I mean, they're out there now. We have people in already.
Besides the seasonal week, we added two, all right, two dedicated people.
So there's a foreman position that's being posted, like a parks foreman.
Yeah.
So that position will be filled after July 1, assuming somebody bids for it, which I believe they will. So that'll be after July 1. So that'll be a person another person full-time dedicated to parks, which would be good.
Yeah,
And the rest is mostly seasonal. And so, yeah, they do a lot of the cutting, the weed whacking and stuff like that. So they do a ton of the work on stormwater basins.
Yeah.
Which
we
we-
got through.
Yeah, so we're required to maintain those annually. So a lot of the focus has been on those,
yeah,
with a large chunk of them. So we're trying to switch things up a little, but those still have to be done. So that's kind of,
right,
we're looking at different ways to attack things operationally, because there's a lot of them around town, and,
Yeah.
and some are huge. So we are looking at different ways to get those done and do some other things that would be nice to do. More and more picking up trash, roadsides, focus on other things at the playgrounds and parks, and more than just cutting and weed whacking. So,
from a open space, well, obviously they're already doing the park stuff that you literally just said, but would it be possible, the known trails that we like know that are town property, that like we don't need other people's permission to like enhance, like could that potentially be something on their summer agenda to like formalize, like let's clear this trail, like there's a trail here?
yeah, I mean, it would depend how much we're talking and what we're looking to do. I mean, you can do anything, but it's, again, we're kind of looking at the best way to attack everything. The stormwater basins have to get done one
Yeah.
way or the other.
Yeah.
Let's prioritize.
This is when the
Yeah.
grass starts to go dormant. They might have, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
think how much you're cutting grass right now, like,
Right,
every
yeah,
3 days,
exactly.
it's crazy.
Exactly. So, but maybe that foreman is walking. I mean, I try to get out on Mondays and go to, pick random parks and just see what it looks like after the weekend. That foreman position will be huge because they are the ones that could maybe walk the trail
Yeah,
once, or maybe, as frequently, once a month or something, just to try to get things on their radar.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, you can see, it depends on how much we're talking too, how much. I didn't even walk that whole thing, so I have no idea how much further it goes. I probably walked like a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, it's in fine, there's not really much.
No, it was
There's
pretty good.
nothing falling across, and if there is, you have another route to go.
Yeah, you can get around, but you wanna also make sure that's getting done, because it's gonna happen, and if it never gets done, then it becomes
I'd be
a
willing,
large project.
I'd be willing to bet that there are people who, like, I walk the same, like, area near the high school, middle school, right?
Yeah,
Maybe not a specific trail, but I'm, around the buildings, stuff like that. I could tell you just on that walk, without someone having to go there, like, hey, I see these 3 things that look like they weren't there before, this is broken or whatever. That might save some time from people going out there. I know we have the whole reporting, we want to report online, but I guarantee you there's someone that walks that trail behind High Street
Yeah.
probably at least once a week.
oh, definitely.
That could report back and say, hey, there's a tree down, there's
Yeah.
whatever. That would save you, at least you just know.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
an idea, and it's Wild Fish and Game. I'm gonna reach out to them because they have, obviously they issue all the license and everything, and then they are very informative, and the amount of information they have about all the trails. Probably we don't even know, probably they might even know. Maybe we
Right.
can reach out to them.
Who's this
Yeah.
again?
Wild Fish and Game,
Oh,
Massachusetts Wild Fish
oh,
and Game.
Mass.
And obviously, they are the one usually, most of the time you don't see it, but if you see a green truck,
Yeah.
it's they, I mean, I see them how many times it's on different part of the town.
Yeah.
And they usually just go off the trail, they have ATVs, and then they go, I mean, they go check a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously, that kind of falls onto their responsibility too. Maybe we'll reach out to them, let's say, hey, listen, we try to identify some of the trails and then we might even miss it, we try to map it out. Maybe if they, I'm assuming they might help out.
yeah, and you just reminded me of someone else that kind of went to a meeting for me, and I forget who's leading it. MA. They're literally in charge of all trail networks in
They would
Massachusetts.
definitely wanna like help out with our stuff, especially since like the project that they're doing with SNET here, like.
Yeah.
There's still work being done on set. I didn't even know that.
And I
until
bet
they
he'd be able
reached
to
out.
help us with the, like, kind of, like documenting the trails, because he was like, well, we were out on the trails, he was documenting it like on his phone, or like the tracking. And he was downloading it and uploading it, so I don't know what he was doing, but he knew what he was doing.
Because the reason why I was just saying that, I had this conversation with David too, so when you go to the Mass Wild Fish and Game, it's if I wanna go hunt in a particular area, something, because they map in, it's still complicated, but if someone knows what they're doing, they can say, okay, this is federal land, this is the borderline, this is owned by the town, and that's owned by the state. And then, they have quite a bit of information there, someone just, I think, I mentioned that to David, maybe we'll reach out to Mass Fish and,
Yeah.
Wild Fish and Game, I don't see why not, someone, they'll be happy to help out.
Yeah.
Is it called Mass Trails?
If you have the website, they might be under that. He was a regional.
Well, it wasn't, they're not like, I mean, he had like like a company, they were all from different places. They weren't
But
all-
he
information
was in
is
charge
only-
of like the regional, he was like the overarching,
Yeah.
he's at a state level.
You can ask Dennis, because Dennis told me, and you guys gonna meet him, and, just gonna-
Yeah.
Dennis and Rob knows.
So this has like grants through Mass Trails Grant Program. 2024
Yeah.
stuff.
It definitely is connected to that. I just know that he was talking regionally.
ECG, is that, what was that?
It is
No.
that email. Oh,
You know who went to Department of Fish and Game? Remember Robert Kearns from Charles River Watershed?
oh, yeah.
That's where he went.
He did?
Yeah. Yeah. So I can shoot him an
So
email
we
and
could
just
reach
see
out
if
to him.
Department of Fish and Game, Division of Ecological Restoration.
DER, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
As I said, they can be huge help.
yeah,
Obviously, that's what they're
Oh, yeah,
in for.
there's a lot of agencies like Norfolk County Mosquito Control.
Yeah.
They help immensely with drainage issues, streams, things like that. There's a lot out there. Just
That's
nailing
what they
that.
do,
Yeah.
especially as I said, the reason why I mentioned that, Wild Fish and Game, that kind of connected with the conservation, it's obviously they're looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
the same things, you're looking at. And, they wanna protect the environment, so forth, so on, and then, protect the species. And, I think, we should reach out to them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write that down? You're gonna reach out to them.
Yeah, I'll write that down.
Okay,
If not, I'll be happy to reach out to them too, but I think it would be better if it comes.
gotta keep them
Conservation-
busy.
Conservation Commission, yeah.
All right, I think I kind of put us on that
Yeah.
tangent, sorry.
It's okay, I think 20 minutes.
Anything else with parks and signs? That was what we were on.
We're gonna start working on the splash pad on Monday, make sure everything works and get that going, depending on weather, maybe for next weekend or at the latest the following Monday. We're looking at different things at Silver Lake parking wise, it's becoming a little bit of parking wherever, getting a little busier, but we're gonna have people working the gates starting this weekend, so that'll kind of tighten that up.
That water actually just got treated Monday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
so.
That's all including all the ponds, or just that's.
I'm pretty sure it was just Silver Lake this past week, but I can double check.
What's that behind the Arcan Park? That's the
Arcan?
Jenkins.
James, all right.
Thanks,
I
Chris.
don't think they were out there this week, but it is on
Well,
there.
It's on the listing, right? I don't remember.
It's on the list.
They do that once a year, those treatments?
Yes, yep, it's in June or May, June.
What is the treatment? Is that for vegetation or what is it?
They do vegetation treatment on Lake Hiawatha. I think the Silver Lake is more about the E. coli and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The Lake Hiawatha, it's the town does that?
No, the association is, they
I was
haven't
gonna
had a
say that
while.
because when we used to live there, there was a fee for that, your yearly fee, that was going partially on that.
Right, well, they have to come to conservation every 3 years to get their permit renewed.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason I know about it. Okay, the other thing is really super brief, Kaya, conservation land assessments.
Yeah, Claudia did a lot of those. I've only done maybe one, but we have
You're just
have-
selling yourself short.
we have I think 10 to 12 left in the office, and then I don't know if there's, I think you said you had like
I
three.
got some.
Yeah, but
It's in my bag.
working
Okay,
through those, yeah.
so I think we, between all the parks that you guys did early on, and then that, I think we're like 50% done. I think.
And I'm gonna start doing those obviously more.
Yeah, it's
Summertime.
really nice out, so.
Yeah, get out and do those.
I mean, as long as the poison ivy
Stays
stays
away,
away.
yeah.
We already got a tick on.
Well, I was getting them in February.
Ticks everywhere.
Ticks everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
it's
unbelievable.
getting warmer too.
Huh?
I said they don't die if it's winter.
We got the sprays.
Yeah.
We got it. We got that covered.
Yeah, so that's it with the land assessment, so we're gonna forward those to David, well, some of them, you've already scanned some to David, I think,
I never sent them to David.
you scanned them,
I scanned them.
okay.
Or never sent.
I forgot to tell my intern to send them.
We'll send them to David.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, he's, if you ask him to scan them, they're scanned.
I guess yeah,
Who's scanning it?
I
David?
bet I told him to send them.
David.
No.
Yeah, cause I think David's gonna try to create a layer based on what trails are there, or what is there,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I wanted to read the email that Karen sent back to me when I was asking her about social media and websites and just, Karen is the IT person, by the way. She's in charge of all media and that's websites. I just kind of informed her what some of our goals were with open space because of what those survey responses were heavily focused on: information, education, being able to access stuff in a modern way. So she said that we will be able to have our own website page, which is awesome. We're not really sure who's gonna own that between us, but at least that there is going to be a page is good news. And she said we can have full control of this page and add whatever we would like. For social media, due to the fact that we do not have a social media director right now, there's a handful of departments and boards who are using social media already. Each of the departments currently using them are managing them themselves.
So that's something actually, I can highlight that. That's one of the things that I'm gonna be, I am focusing on, and then we gotta kind of unify it as soon as possible.
Yeah,
So it has to be. When you said it's kind of updated, I'm just gonna jump on that. It's obviously we know some of the things that are not really updated when it comes to our website, social media presence. And we kind of a little behind the ball on that. We're trying to catch up to it as quick as we can. But eventually what we're gonna do is every governmental or municipalities, when they update themselves, and then you have a control, a presence on social media. Not from complaining, but some of the things are giving the right information to the public. So instead of you getting information from XYZ,
Bellingham unplugged.
Yeah, I
don't go on that, but yes.
So basically, if you have a question, so you're gonna reach out or you're gonna go onto that particular site and then controlled by the Bellingham, and then you're gonna get the right information instead of just, what you might have heard on the street or from around the corner from somebody.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything is gonna be correct information.
Mhm.
So that's coming. I cannot wait. Yeah, it cannot come fast enough.
I mean, I follow almost anything that's related to the environment on a state level, Mass DER, DCR, all of them.
Yeah.
They all have Instagram. They're all
Yeah.
very positive, informational.
So
It's great.
so the town of Bellingham has separate Instagram things
Handles.
for each, for handles, that's the word I can think of.
Yeah.
Handles, I feel like I'm on a CB.
Yeah.
For every single like commission, or would the information get sent? You
So
know what I mean?
it's-
Yeah, you almost want one, yeah, that's.
I know.
So you're gonna have, so the whole idea is basically, it's obviously town of Bellingham, although they have the website. So the Karen's kind of restructure that, but each department gonna have a control monitored by the town.
Right.
And then just to give the right information to the public.
Yeah.
So as I said, you don't have to go to the Bellingham Unplugged or Citizens of Bellingham and then, just whoever posted it, everybody started believes in it, it's not even right. So we gotta try to pass the right information to the public.
So would.
So it's gonna be, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, so would like the different departments send their information to one individual and that person would say, hey, DPW is hiding flushing this week, or everybody posting their own?
I think that's kind of in the works. I
Being
don't
worked out,
wanna give
yeah.
you wrong information on that, but
Yeah.
as I said, we're gonna try to unify everything and then
Yep.
it's, when you need the information, you're gonna just click on it and then that's gonna link you something else.
Yeah.
And then you get the right information.
And then that feed on the main page would have like,
Yeah.
if you posted something with DPW,
Yeah.
be on that feed, and so it would,
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
So kind of make it a little more friendly. So for instance, now you can go onto the website and then you can go on your phone. It's get very complicated and then you have to try to find it and then fight to find it. And we bring you up to the speed.
Nope.
Let me
Do
just
we
leave it
have
that.
a timeline, like putting this into practice?
It's I don't have the exact timeline actually, but I will get some information by next meeting.
Okay,
It's in the works as it's getting there, it's just almost there.
okay.
Once we do it, it's just gonna be very user friendly.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be, you're gonna get the right information.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a game changer, really.
Yeah, it's absolutely, because I mean, that was one of my things, I mean, when I go on my phone, for instance, like, trying to look at it as a menu, and then you got a drop down menu, and then you gotta find the, God knows what,
So is this changing?
That's all gonna change.
When does that happen?
It's
As
on-
part of that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
Is that the new website you were talking
No,
about?
that's-
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's the whole-
yeah.
the new one, the new one changed on the 12th.
yeah, it's the new one, yeah.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little more
So
friendly,
stay
it's gonna
tuned.
be.
This, it's changed,
It's coming.
June
June
12th.
12th.
June 12th, oh, yeah.
It's still gonna be BellinghamMA.org. I don't know. to be honest.
I think
I
we
would
get all the right
assume-
information.
Yeah, I would think so. So people, either that or.
It's
I guess
gonna be
that's what
easy,
people go now.
it's gonna be easy to manage it.
Yeah, I just meant the address.
Yeah,
I would think it'd be the same.
Um,
So the department's gotta, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just to reiterate, like, there is no formalized, like, we don't have an open space, like, there's still gonna be a conservation
Yeah.
DPW, we haven't added. So
So that's gonna be on the new website.
it will be
Only the-
eventually,
yeah.
I think after we figure out our own.
Yeah.
Under committees or something, right?
Same thing for instance, like,
Yeah.
some of the boards are on the wall with the same thing too, so we basically put in all the information, we kind of updated a lot of things in it, and then everything is gonna be on drop down menus, and then once you click on it, you're gonna have the right information available to you.
Hmm.
Let's get in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the departments too to clean it up, all like, I know DPWs, I was talking to David recently, and you go on and you got all these topics, but yeah, I personally think it's better to go water, sewer, drain, and then kind of pull them from there, so.
Yeah, instead of going all general, we need someone, menu, it's gonna go where it needs to go.
Right. Yep, cool.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Just I wanted to highlight, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take it.
Your last talk.
We were on that topic.
Okay, the last thing she had, because based on the surveys, people were saying they would love to have some kind of newsletter, either like a quarterly that ends up in their email, or just something that's more like a newsletter, which kind of could go along with social media.
Yeah.
She said it's something that we could do through our website, specifically like if people want to sign up with their email, and they can subscribe. So possible. The other thing that I asked her was like, you know, how do these things relate to budget and feasibility of it? And she's like, the website's already in her budget, so us wanting to add these things doesn't impact,
Yeah.
like, we don't need to find money for it, which is great.
But more than anything, a newsletter, like who's putting that together? That's what it comes down to, I think, more
Right.
so than even the money. We can do any website updates, but if you're talking like a newsletter, who's putting a townwide newsletter together, you know what I mean?
Right,
So it's kind of some of that stuff.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just
Nail
missing
it
some of
down.
the pieces, yeah.
It's like anything else, we put a splash pad in, but we didn't put a budget in to maintain that, right?
Right,
We
yeah.
do things and we wanna get things done, but there's not, well, who's gonna be in charge of it?
Who's gonna, yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah,
I get it, I get it.
yeah, the Carolyn and Pamela's lining up, so obviously, that's gonna be the
Right.
subject.
And it might change, like, this year, I could easily be like, oh, well, I'll have interns that do create a letter, and that could be their project, but then maybe when we actually have a formalized Parks Commission, or maybe the open space people put it together once a year, like,
Yeah.
it could change, but
Yeah, if it's open space, but if the newsletter is a town-wide thing that has open space as a part of it,
right,
then who's putting that together?
right,
You know,
That's true.
So it depends how,
that is
if,
true.
if people are doing their own newsletter thing, or if you're talking to one Bellingham and they're like, and they touch on different things that are going on.
Yeah, and I don't remember if in the survey, like, people obviously want that, or else we would have put it on here, but I
Right.
don't remember them specifying, like, do they just wanna understand what's going on in town in general more, or specifically open space?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a monthly thing where it's like open space has a section. I don't know, DPW has a
Yeah.
section, don't forget, we're gonna be flushing.
Private flushing,
Yeah.
private flushing begins to state.
And I'm in Quincy, where I live, and I get a quarterly letter, with mostly DPW stuff, but, it's informative and I like it, so, and I'm assuming it doesn't take that much time for whoever's the head of the department to be like, here's my tiny paragraph.
No, yeah, what you got going, yeah, you just need someone to kind of spearhead the, like, hey, send your updates and this.
Yeah, we have a calendar on it, like,
Right.
Yep.
people are meeting, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there is a place online, I've signed up for this before, the way you can get updates and you can subscribe to news, it's on
Yeah.
our website. Like I
but
get,
who's news? And what kind of stuff do you
Bellingham,
get?
so in general, anything in this, when you go to Bellingham website, anything under the news, if you subscribe, and then you automatically, if you choose, so.
yeah, like Board of Health, capital improvements,
I didn't know I could put something in there.
conservation.
Did anyone get our open space survey on there by chance?
I got get it, but I know, I knew I was gonna look for it, so that's why.
And I knew like people around us set up two schools, which
Yeah.
I think hit a lot of people.
Huh, I didn't know that. All right, anything else on website stuff? What are we on? Oh, last thing,
CPA,
yeah, you,
yeah, so we started having, some of the conversations regarding to that. So we, share, some of the important information regarding the CPA and, 2 meetings in a row.
oh, okay,
And so it's just to try to get the materials, obviously, it's, we all went through one of the town meetings, and it's, was very important stuff, was very urgent. But, it's, you wanna give the information, but you don't wanna overload the people too, especially when it comes to, obviously, CPA is gonna add $2 more on their taxes. So that's gonna be the key, and it's, the benefits are great, and so I think we need to gather the materials and then start to introduce them to that. And try to tell people, something, what are the great benefits are. Because, it might cost you maybe extra $10, or $15 on your tax bill, but when you look at it, when the state matches that money, and surrounding towns are units, they get quite a
Oh,
bit
there's
of money.
lots of great examples of people.
Yeah, so for instance, like you don't have to go too far, the Medway, they use that choke park, they use that money, the CPA. It's that's yeah, all the funds are basically came with the CPA. That's what it made all that beautiful park. I mean, it used
That's
to be
really
just
popular too, like not even just like Medway people, like everyone knows Chill Park.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be, you couldn't even get into choke park. You have to go all around and just talking about the CPA and how much that money basically allowed them and to beautify that beautiful park. You could have been, go from the road now that you got a nice parking space, you have to look around. And some towns they use the funds by when the land become available. And obviously we know that a lot of people, they ask me about open space. And I have been reaching out anybody I can. And obviously we always accept, donations. I know it's a tax revenue for a town too, but if they are lands or parcels that are available, if they are not in use, and so we'll be happy to take that. And it will be no tax burden to that individual or company, whatever they might be, we'll be happy to add them to the open space. That's something it's in our agenda.
So what has to happen besides education? I think we can get to that.
Yeah.
What has to happen to make us a CPA community?
So that's gonna go to the town meeting.
Okay, it would be voted at the time.
It has to be voted on the town meeting. I think they tried that before anybody's time. I think last time when they tried it, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And whatever, I think they took the initiative, but I think just kind of fell down.
Didn't get enough support.
Did not get enough support because, as I said, I'm just not for nothing. It is. When it comes to the dollar amount, it's a very touchy subject for a lot of individuals. It can be. So money is money. I understand that. And
I
but
think
the
people
benefits.
don't understand those numbers that come.
So that's what I'm saying. So you see, and also on
Can I zoom this?
so 123,000. I'm sorry, what?
Which one?
The Bellingham,
Bellingham?
yeah.
Oh, yep, 100.
So that's registered deed. So that's the money they basically collect.
Yeah.
How
And,
much we could have gotten.
we could have got it. So basically, and then they match that money. So we every single time when the any kind of transactions on the registry of deeds, and I think it used to be $25, now went up to $50.
Yeah.
So that money, say for instance, like $125,000, if we part of the CPA, will be gonna be held on for us if the registry of deeds, am I right? And then
Yes.
they match that money. So basically, at the end of the year, without doing anything, you got $250,000. So it's
That would help, huh?
and it comes in handy. It's
Yeah.
it's on the other hand, it's if we add or if we apply, or if we town agrees, the 1 point, 1.5 point, and then I think there are different levels to it.
Yeah.
And those are the numbers that I think we need to put it together and then just put them in perspective. Not just you paying extra $10 or $15, what kind of benefits you're gonna get out of it. To be honest with you, I know it's a lot of money for a lot of people too, but the people, you stop at Dunkin' Donuts, I'm just don't wanna throw it, stop at the Dunkin' Donuts, get a coffee and a donut, that's $12 right there. And same thing, you stop
It's a lot of donuts, but
It's, yeah, you got my point.
I know, yeah. We spoke
So
all the
it's
time.
anybody, when it comes to money, is a touchy subject.
Yeah.
And I think, that if we can put all the materials together.
Yeah.
For the people to understand, the benefits of it, and, I think it will be huge.
Like a formal proposal kind of thing.
Obviously, people asking the questions, make sure we have all the right answers.
Yeah.
And, so for instance, I'm like, that's under 23,000.
So what does that
950.
mean? What is that amount? Like, is
So
that
if we were part of, CPA, and that money we could have collected.
So that's like if everyone paid a certain amount, that would be
Yeah.
how much it would be.
So it used to be $25 for each. I think the
Transaction, right?
transaction, now the
What, a
transaction
year?
went up to $50. It's not for us, it's so they registry of deeds.
Yeah.
So that money automatically they collect it anyway, but if you're part of the CPA and it's gonna add a little bit into your taxes,
It goes back.
it goes back to you and it goes to that account, they match that money, equal amount if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So basically, if they collected $123,000 a year, with probably the new fees is gonna be probably 100, maybe 50. At the end of the year, if you're part of it, they're gonna add another $150,000 from the state. So if your money, you collected without, before you even know it, I mean, you got $300,000. I mean, it's stuff like that.
It looks like most communities too are,
Yeah. Part of it.
yeah, most,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
saying
think there are only a few
19
communities
out of the 28.
in Norfolk
Norfolk.
County.
in Norfolk County. I mean, that's we part of our, we are Norfolk County. And so we are one of those towns that's hasn't
No,
took
This is a
action on
town.
this. Community Preservation Act, it's, I think it's a great program. And before this is like, if we have that done, done this a year ago, so probably we're gonna have, you're looking at the rough numbers here, it's gonna be $250,000 right now in open space. We could do maybe land acquisition, or we could use it for the parks.
Yeah.
Or we could maybe fix the trails.
Yeah.
And then you add those little grants here, there, you do it, I mean, before you even know it, I mean, you beautify the whole town. And before you even know it,
Can you save that money from year to year?
I think I think you can roll over.
If you had a bigger project, because isn't that what Medway did?
I think
There's
that's
no
what
way they did
because
that
no,
in
they
1
didn't.
year.
All right, they didn't use it for one particular, I think they kind of collect the
Yeah.
money and they do it. And,
So I don't think you have to sell to anybody in here. Here's my biggest question.
yeah,
When is a realistic time, though? How do we get this on
if we
the,
start, I would start.
you're the political guy, yeah, so yeah.
No, it's okay, listen,
Yeah.
it's, for me, the one thing about me, is, either you heard about me or you don't, there's a.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, you know how it
No,
works.
it's
I didn't mean.
black and
political
white,
guy.
no, it's perfectly fine,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, and, I don't like to sugarcoat it, I
Yeah.
just like to give it to you
Yeah.
exactly the way it is, and I think that's what the people, they, should hear.
Yeah.
And, I think what we need to do is just, try to people understand the benefits of it.
Right.
And for us to do that, we ought to start talking about it. And we need to gather all the information it's possible and then make the people understand much easier way.
so for
So
us
if I
to put it
took-
on the fall meeting, do we have to do
I
anything?
don't know if you
That's
can,
right, I would think,
so I don't know,
yeah.
huh?
Well, I was saying, I would
I don't
think
know
that's
if
probably
I
tight.
it's tight because, something particular, I'm just gonna be honest with you now, we gotta deal with the MBTA, community.
Oh, is that this fall too?
Yeah, so that has to go into the fall meeting, so that's gonna be a pretty hot topic because people try to understand. If we throw this into that too, I think it will make it a little bit more complicated. And, but I think if we give enough time, my target was if we obviously be able to start talking about it. And now let's put it out there, let's gather all the information, put some numbers out. It's put as much as data as possible, and then we can start to present people. And from,
So you'd like to shoot for spring then?
I would say so,
Yeah, you wanna have, I would think you'd want like, not only select board meetings, but maybe some meetings specifically
Yeah.
just on this. I mean, you wanna have, I would think, it'd be a couple meetings leading up to it.
yeah, we're gonna have open, basically, discussion. And then,
So this couldn't be something like on the ballot, it has to go to town meeting, it can't be like a ballot item, you know what I mean, like.
I'm pretty sure I think it needs to go to a town meeting, because
This would be the town
that's gonna
meeting,
be-
outside.
it's a town meeting, it has to be voted on. I don't think it can be a ballot. I'll check with Dennis. Obviously, Dennis, already kind of looked into this, and it's, I think 10, 12 years ago. And, I think became a hot topic, and then, it's people, they weren't in favor for it.
Hmm.
What it comes down to, it's dollar amount. When we propose this kind of ideas, it's, obviously adds a few more dollars on your taxes.
Yeah.
It's let's face
Well, no one-
the music, the people, they're gonna question it. People, they always get heated about it, they think the taxes are going up, the taxes hasn't been gone up in this town for 30 years. Your real estate taxes, so basically, it's all the things are, you pay a little bit more because your property values are going up.
Right.
And then that's basically mandated, and then the formulas are being done through the state and federal level and so forth, so on.
So would it make sense, I'm just thinking
Yeah.
of how you present this to
Yeah.
just the average person who doesn't even know what CPA stands for. They think it's a financial person. Is
Gotta
one,
show them like the before and after, like here's what you would pay without it, and
Yeah,
here's what you
that's
pay
what I'm
with it, and
saying,
it'll be
yeah.
like $10 more.
yeah, what, like the top is like what the CPA is in general terms, like it provides money a lot. In the middle, maybe you put the following communities with hyperlinks to
Yep.
pictures of Medway, pictures of all the other communities and all the things that they've done with it. So someone can click on that, and be like, oh my God, those fields are beautiful, or Choke Box is
You got
amazing.
like without CPA, and it's like a picture of Valley of the Drums, and then you've got like with CPA, and it's a picture of like a beautiful park, you know. It's like, wow, you could have all of this.
Yes, and then at the bottom, the last thing you put is what it will cost you, right? You want that to
That's
be.
pretty much it, exactly.
Yeah, and then on the other side, frequently asked questions like, someone told me that that this money can only be used to make baseball fields, right? Which is, I know in some towns they've actually done athletic fields with it.
Right.
And so I think on the flip side, I'm picturing this being an actual sheet of paper.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, I don't think it just like needs to be like a long.
No,
process.
less is
Very-
more.
Yeah.
So the great thing about the CPA is obviously, it's, I think Bernadette was asking the same question too, because you can use it for all different things around town.
Right.
And just the beautifying, or as I said, it's just not just the open space, but I mean, you
Historical
can,
preservation and stuff like
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
there was a wide range of things you can do with it. And
Is there a process for using it? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
I
like,
was just thinking that, who determines
Yeah, what it's used for.
what project in any given year it's being used, you know what I
Well,
mean? So I think that would probably be a
Yeah,
question.
are we saving it this year for next year?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
who made that decision in Medway?
Right, yeah, that's a good question,
Yeah.
which I don't even know, but.
so that's a great question too, because it's obviously, that we start topic, I'm sorry. Survey Hannah did was, so people are asking for open space. Open space is very diverse, something,
Yeah.
It's define open space. Open space to me, nice, open, beautiful green space, nothing on it. For some people, it might be just looking at a bunch of trees there. Some people, it might be just the parks. So, and I think we have to kind of, narrow it down, but I think at the end, what the people are thinking, it's the people as a community, you can use it, you can enjoy it,
Yeah, like.
add on to the quality of life.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the Choke Park is perfect. You wanna go watch the fishes, you can. You wanna just practice on your fishing with your kids, grandkids,
Yeah.
you can do that too.
You wanna
You
go
wanna
play
just,
baseball? You wanna,
you wanna just sit down, relax, sit on the park, and then, you can do that too. It's as you please. And I think, to create a space like that, I think it's huge. And I mean, the Bellingham, it's very fortunate, we have a lot of space.
Yeah.
We have a lot of open space. I mean, it's not enough, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we can add on to that and we can beautify it. My thing was always, how come, the Bellingham, we never really restructure or beautify the downtown area. We can use it for that. And some of the conversations we have beautiful downtown common, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's small, it's not enough
It's
parking.
one little piece.
And if we can be part of the CPA, and then when something comes available around here, and then the town can jump on it, and then we can,
Link some areas together, maybe.
as I said, the options are endless. We can do it. I mean, I see a 3 sale sign right over here, and I'm right in downtown, So obviously someone owns that, but if you have the dollar amount to buy it, then someone we can buy it and then extend, expand, downtown common area.
Is there things that are typically predominantly fall town meeting versus spring town meeting? Like, is there a better meeting to do that at, or it just
No, I don't
depends on
think
the
so. I
year?
think just get all the information out there. And for me, I don't wanna put anything out there. I don't think any of us,
No.
not just for this, but I mean, anything I do, before I wanna have this conversation with you in front of you, because you're gonna ask me a question, I like to know every single detail.
Yes.
Before I start having a conversation with you about it. That's
Yeah.
why, I said that, we gotta get ourselves prepared, get all the data, information, the pictures, whatever that might be. And I think that's what we're trying to do here, and then we can collectively get the information, and then we can narrow it down and bullet point it, highlight it, and then after that, we can start to present to people.
And how does it get on the town meeting to be voted?
It's,
What's the
once
process?
we have all the data, we can start to talk about it, and then we can start, how it has to go through the,
I think anyone can make a proposal and
You
then I
can do
think
it.
there's like at least
but
10
at the end, you gotta be the
signatures
one that
that need
answering
to be-
it, so. It's, as a select board, mostly, when it comes to dollar amount, when it comes to spending, obviously it has to go to the town meeting, but we have to answer all those questions.
Right.
And I like to know all those.
But I guess what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
does that have to happen 3 months ahead of time? You have to have put in I don't know how this works. I've been to town meetings.
Don't
but-
you
No,
guys
it's
vote?
okay.
Don't you guys vote on?
Yeah, we do,
agenda
so
items
we
for
can
the town meeting?
propose it
A month,
to the.
2 months before? I'm trying to think for the spring, I had to turn in something in
It's
February,
45 days, if I'm
you
not
voted
mistaken.
in March on it.
Yeah.
And then the meeting was in May.
So I think it's a 45, I don't have the exact dates, and as I said, I don't wanna
Yeah,
give information out here, so, but there was a timetable, I think if I'm not mistaken, 45 days for the meeting, and then it has to be proposed.
So we
And I
could
might
still
run
try
maybe
for
60
the
days.
fall one, then.
Huh?
We could probably still try for the fall one, even if it doesn't get it, you know what I mean?
yeah, but you don't want it to fail.
You don't
Because
wanna
then-
fail.
Yeah.
It's not
And
gonna
you're
pass.
also-
I rather,
I'd
as
rather
much
take the
as I
time.
like to get the things
You don't
done,
wanna cram things in.
it's, you want the people to be comfortable about it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, we just passed the 2.5 override, because, it's obviously we needed the paramedics for the town. We have a lot of things in town.
Yeah.
It's in need.
Yeah.
And, that's a, I don't wanna say burden, but it was necessity.
Yeah.
And, the people that just add $20, $30, $40, depends what do you have, what do you own,
Yeah.
onto their tax bill, is a great cost.
Mhm.
However, something just comes with a few extra dollars.
Right.
So we wanna do this right, and then, explain the benefits to people.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are great benefits to it.
Yeah, so I guess if we had a target meeting,
Yep.
then we work backwards from that and say we have to have something turned in by X date.
Yeah.
And then 6 months before that, I'm even thinking I go to like the softball board meeting.
Yeah.
Cause they have fields, go to the baseball meeting, like, listen, this is what we're trying to do.
Yep.
You have 300, 200 kids in baseball.
This
If
is
you-
how it impacts.
If you could push this, that would be great. And this is how it could potentially impact you and has impact. you.
So when I had some conversations around town for the people, it is, I know it's kind of, I don't wanna keep talking on this topic, but
Selfish
I
tip.
always felt like there are some needs in town.
Yeah.
And I hear it, I felt it, we've seen it, and it's, Silver Lake is great. We got the common, we got the middle school, but I think we need something else. I know, it's, around town, the whole community can get together. Another open space or something creative, it doesn't have to be, X, Y, Z. That's what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
And,
According to the word cloud, it's Brazilian food.
Yeah.
And,
That's what I'm pushing for.
we can do a lot of great things, and it's, it might be another park or something else,
Yeah.
But as I said, it's, I'll be happy to advocate it, and, once we have all the right information.
So.
Is
for
there
sure-
like an order that the meetings can go into, or the items that are up during the town meeting? Because I would say, if some other bad thing comes up for the spring meeting, then it'd be good to have like this one first, maybe.
No, not really, I mean, just as I said, as long as you got the sport, and then you got the need, and, you just push it through.
Yeah, I mean, what happens, like, using artificial turf, what happens is they get a groundswell support, people show up, sometimes people stay, vote on that and leave,
Yeah.
if we're being honest. If it's a hot button item,
I mean, it's as I said, I'm gonna give you one example, one of the things we approved. And sometimes, it's like you having your own home, or you having a car. You budget yourself for certain things, and then something just out of blue pops up, and then you have to adjust it. That's what life is. And it's not just being, all the municipalities, everything, that's the way it works. We weren't expecting that we're gonna spend $2.2 million in it, it's fire engines, and it's something 6, 7 months ago. And, but we had to do it, And, stuff like that.
So I'm gonna propose that maybe this summer we work on collecting
Yeah.
everything we wanna say, maybe September is where we start kind of pushing outside of us, like, hey, have you heard about this?
Mhm.
You know, exactly what Chad was saying.
Yeah.
So then by the time January hits,
Yeah.
it should be
And we
known
wrap it up.
around town.
Yeah.
Or easily accessed on the website, for people to learn more about it.
I think it will be premature, someone just to try to push this through, it's, if we get ready, yeah, definitely we'll do it, but I think it will be premature, just to push it down, for fall.
Yeah.
And if I say, do I wanna do it? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Do I
it's
see
easy
the
for us to say
benefits?
yes.
Fantastic. And, as I said, I'm just gonna go back to Medway again, the Troll Park project, unbelievable. That's what they use. And I think the Franklin did the same thing too, after,
A lot of the parks around here.
King Street probably.
King Street, maybe Daisy Fields, I think
Yeah.
that's what they do, I think they, I might be wrong, but I think they do use that and they maybe purchased the property, they beautified it with that same funds.
Yeah, and I can tell, I mean, yeah, we need to meet with groups, like, we need to get support from the baseball group,
Yeah.
the people who help beautify that park, as like seniors to do it, like, you need all different pockets
Yeah.
of people to
That's a
do
good
that,
point.
so the fall is not, I don't think it's realistic
I
at
mean,
all.
it's not just, we shouldn't be just having the Bellingham High School fields and use it for everything.
Yeah.
It's a 15.2 mile town.
Yeah.
We should have more spaces to do it. I know there are some ideas and conversations, but we should have more space available.
100%, yeah.
And the town is growing, we almost 18,000, we are right there, there are definitely a need for it.
So, yeah, I would love to, I mean, and I'm happy to work on, do like a timeline that says, all right, the
Yeah.
date of the meeting is gonna be,
Yeah.
if we already know, put it down there, but approximately whenever the town meeting happens, and then work our way backwards.
Okay.
I
yeah.
think we need to gather all the information that we can get, with the CPA related, and then I will work the numbers, with our CFO and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some formulas that are out there, but we can put that stuff together and we can look at it, we can lay it out. And then once we have everything, that's on the paper,
Yeah.
and then we can start to talk about it in a little bit more detail and more informative way.
Yeah.
Make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I don't wanna see us, we're gonna present something and we don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
Right. That's the way I'm looking at it, that's the way I look at it, anything I do,
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't wanna look like it is, we don't wanna look like a bunch of, we don't know what we're doing.
All right, anything else on CPA? Not
No.
from
I
Zahan.
think we covered it,
He's hit his limit.
I'm done, I'm done talking, I've been talking all day.
Okay, okay, the only thing I just really wanna make sure we touch upon is the big part of this plan is that I have to release a public forum on that. What I believe is just the actual plan, I don't think I need to release the whole book.
Mhm.
Cause the rest of it is just like us putting information that we wanna put in, but
Yep.
the plan itself is based on what the people need, right? So,
Mhm.
that's gonna be a huge project that we're gonna be working on this month is creating that in a way that the community can read it and then make comments on it. I've never done this before though. So, we'll just see how that goes, but I wanted to hear feedback if there is any on how I kind of reorganized all of those goals we had into those pretty pictures I made, which I can share, again. And so most likely, that thing's in the way. You wanna move it, Kyle?
What is it?
Move our faces, my name.
Oh, yeah.
You made those?
Yeah,
I love them. Did you use PowerPoint?
no, I use Canva.
Oh, nice.
The top one was just more based on that good discussion you guys are having of like whose responsibilities and stuff like that, which we can talk about that later. I don't wanna touch on that really right now. This is where I kind of took everything that you guys were saying, because you guys were saying you know, I think all of these things are important, but we need to still have a way to organize it, and so basically anything that was on that survey is like things we need to do, improve, they all went under one of these categories. So I'm proposing that we're still using all the same information, but I'm gonna organize it in this format for the public to see.
That's great.
Which I can.
I love it.
You like
It
it?
makes sense, yeah, it's very, yeah.
Cause then we're not like prioritizing conservation land over softball fields or,
Yeah.
you know, like there's no one that's more important than the other.
Cause again, I've said this before, but I think people just wanna, like, maintain what we have, try to make improvements where we can, and just know where everything is. I mean, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think personally, I think some will get prioritized more than others, like repair, I think should be super prioritized. We already have the stuff there, but it's unsafe for some odd reason, or
Yeah.
or maybe there's need for lighting because I don't know, like baseball fields should have lighting. That's how I feel like it'll be easier to prioritize versus us being like, well, no, I think turtles are more important, or no, like sixth grade softball team is more important, you know? Cool. Does anyone find this confusing in any way?
No. Nice color stuff.
You like the colors? And so that was the most important part, obviously. So this is the same words, big words, but I like kind of put them, and I know it's small, so I'll read some of these. I put them in example categories. So basically everything that was on the survey results either relates to active recreation, passive recreation, or something that's protected. So like active being baseball fields, that's very easy. Passive is like places where you could canoe or bird watch or walk trails. And protected is like basically conservation restriction where it's like we own this property, but it's supposed to be untouched.
Yeah.
So for like maintain, for example, under active, like creating an O&M plan for baseball field care. For a passive place, it could be like creating a schedule for volunteer trail maintenance crew. And then protected area, creating signage to set standards for the public. Like some of these things we already do. We were just talking about signage for no dumping by fifth. That's an example.
Yeah.
So.
No, this is really easy to, like, this is easier than the picture of vernal pools and things like that.
Yeah. You can follow the arrows.
I couldn't even describe a vernal pool if someone asked me, but.
To be fair, there's not a true definition of a vernal pool.
See, that's why I keep going.
That's
That's why I rest my hat on. So wait, why are we marking it if there's not a definition of a vernal pool? I won't get in, it's right. Another time. Another time.
Vernal pools are so important, but you can't define them.
What do you mean? They dry up and then
Keep
they're wet
going,
again.
this is great.
That's so, yeah. I guess I don't have anything else to say about it besides that I'm gonna formalize this in some kind of document that can get shared on the website. I don't know how else to do a public forum.
What does it mean by a public forum? Do you actually have to have like a meeting that anyone
you
can
have
come
to
to?
open, you have to just, you know.
Yeah, I think you have to post it like you would a regular town meeting or committee meeting.
Or we
And
can something in the either upstairs in the Arcan room, you know, it's like a Q&A and
But it has to be an actual meeting where people come to it, but yeah, it's not just.
I think you're right on that. It has to be that, but it can also be, I've seen it, mass.gov has done it where it's like you have 60 days to read this and you can fill out your thoughts on this, like contact us kind of form.
Yeah.
Your thoughts.
And
So
we just,
either
like,
way.
put in like the
60
newspaper,
days
put it like
usually,
everywhere,
45,
so like
60
people know.
days,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you notify about the survey? How did you get that out?
I
Pony
She
Express.
was at the Bellingham High School.
yeah, I was
It'll
standing
be
on
easier now.
some street corners, like
Right.
handing it out.
Right. the bell, like, yeah, listen, sir.
Oh,
Like the
God.
guy getting signatures at Market Basket, you know, like that.
We can do it on the website and,
I put it on
Send
multiple
email,
places
yeah.
on the website,
Yeah.
I did emails,
we can
I
do,
went on
roll call if
Bellingham
you have to,
Unplugged.
You went on where, Bellingham?
I joined Bellingham Unplugged to share the survey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So.
I'm told it's like a cesspool of foolishness.
I think every town probably has
100%.
whatever, yeah,
That's why I'm
no
on
matter what.
Facebook.
Oh, yeah, I'm on the Quincy one too.
Yeah.
It's sometimes entertaining.
I'm sure it is. I have friends who love just the. I'm not interested.
And I could use all the same things to,
Yeah.
at least, well, I could say like when the public forum is, and then a link if they would prefer to just review it like as a PDF and then make comments.
Could we do a public forum and are we thinking that someone might not even show up? Like, would that happen? Does that happen?
It might be, sometimes,
Or make it a meeting, make it a public forum, but be like, listen, we'll all show up and it'll be a meeting. If no one shows up, we can make that a meeting. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can, you
Do a
post it out
2-for-1.
there and then you let the people know, if the people they show up, they show up, if the people they don't. I mean, you can't force the people to come in, it's,
And we would all be at that public forum, I would assume. because-
So you could call that meeting for a month.
Yeah,
You're right, you just
just
say,
tell
yeah,
them in as like a public forums,
August. or
you know,
Maybe the
Like
first
today,
hour
yeah.
is open to the public.
yeah,
Right, so that's the,
I would just do that.
that's right, that meeting for that month, that's the.
We'll cover what
That's the
the,
meeting.
that beautiful action plan,
Right.
but. You know, I'm just picturing how many people are coming to the open space public forum on.
I-
Honestly,
I
I-
got 500 people to do the survey.
I know, but that's like on their
I told you, that
computer.
was a huge success.
Oh, it's huge.
I mean, it's,
I filled it out 7 times.
I mean, it's, we, as I
We're
said,
still
we
good too.
put it out there, if the people they show up, they show up.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's not make it 2 different events.
Right.
We
No.
don't have to, right?
I was gonna propose if me and my interns can be on our A game, we'll show you what we propose to make the public forum, like what we're gonna share in July, but then actually have the public forum date in August.
If you're gonna do it in August, it's, you wanna do it, right before the school starts.
So I would think September, August.
September.
But the thing is-
Does it have to be
When
done
does
by a
school
certain
start?
time? Is this all due at us? Do we have a due date?
November.
I would aim
The
for
plan.
September because July and
people just
August,
away.
people
Oh,
are not.
Vacation.
September, school's starting back up, people are getting plugged into schools, and like kind of
Okay.
getting back in the. That's just my 2 cents on it, you're getting back into the fold of town.
Yeah.
July and August, people, I think,
Yeah.
are away if they
Okay.
can be, or just aren't coming to a public,
Post Labor Day.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
think so, I
Well-
would think,
I'll have to look, but I'm pretty sure like the online portion that I was describing can be open for like it should be open for, it's either 30 or 60 days. So that part could be open the whole time, but actually have the in-person
Yeah.
and
public
maybe with
forum.
schools too, they can help
Could be in
spread the
September.
word. If it's after the first day of school, maybe, I don't know if that's
When
possible,
does
but
school
I mean-
around here start?
like late August.
Before Labor Day.
Before Labor
Oh,
Day.
it's before Labor Day, okay,
Right, week before Labor Day.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything in July or August,
okay.
to be honest.
Post it, yes, what you
Oh,
said.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that
could
sort of
post
thing, yeah,
it.
but any sort of,
But the formal in-person, okay, that makes sense to me. And that still keeps us in line, because then we have 2 months after that, 3 months
yeah,
to turn it into the state. Okay.
Okay.
I don't wanna keep it any longer. I don't think we have anything else major,
Sure.
that was my 2 things.
We accomplished a lot
Yeah,
all the time, it's huge. I'm gonna put all the information, to everybody, I mean, take their time and then just put it together, this is incredible to me.
yeah, it's a work in progress, I mean, these types